Guy video with your host Cali Guy. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another Cali Guy video. This is about the South Carolina church shooting massacre, the Dylan Roof saga, and why do racists and Coons insist on. That's a long title, but I'm just giving it pretty much what we're going to talk about. But why does the Coons and racists tend to want to say that this is a hate crime? Yeah, so it's been a tragedy over the last 24 hours with this mass assassination. Uh, First off, prayers to the members of the church, by the way. Prayers to the families, um, kids, people who were injured and killed during this assassination. One of the biggest attacks against black people in modern day black America in 30 years. And I repeat, this is the biggest mass attack against African American people in 30 years. Um, we haven't seen nothing like this since the 1962 bombings. Oh, the early 60s bombers. I'm forgetting because it's just got my mind boggled down with happened with these black people at this church. And I feel really, really horrible about what happened to my people at this church. And you have a whole bunch of things going on with white supremacy. And for a long time, me and other pro-blacks have called this what happened. We called that racism exists in the United States. That these racists is making plans against African American people. They support genocide and they support blacks not being equal in the United States. Here's an example right here. But I noticed that the coons and racists, they want to not say this is a hate crime and that this is not racially motivated. Now, let's break all this down into different parts. The church itself is the oldest church, one of the oldest churches in the South. Black churches. It's a slave church. It predates the 20th century. I think it predates even the 18th century. I'm gonna do research on this church. I don't have all the notes there with the church. I don't want to give you guys false information, but from what I'm hearing is that this church is very old. It's a black founded church and it's been around for generation after generation. Many civil rights leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King, Reverend Al Sharpton, and different black leaders have met at this church. So it wasn't like it was any random black church that was attacked in South Carolina. This church was targeted by white supremacists and racists for a reason because it was a hate crime. That's why it's just like targeting a mosque up in New York. If a racist targeted a mosque or a gay bar, even, it's because 9 times out of 10 it was racially motivated. So, what is the difference with this particular situation up in South Carolina? And I'm hearing like really asinine stuff that it was attack on faith. No, it wasn't. When they blew up churches up in the 40s, 30s, 20s, and they killed black people in churches, it wasn't an attack against faith. It was an attack against black people being at black churches. Black churches is the cornerstone of black America. It's always been since slavery. So this church was targeted for A, it was all African American. B, it is the oldest church in South Carolina, and C, yeah, it just I don't know how to break this down to words. It's very sad. Also, you had a black state senator who was assassinated. Also, a black civil rights leader in a state senator that was killed along with a minister. So this was definitely a hate crime. If you ask if you ask my opinion, and me as an African American citizen in this country, I demand that the FBI and the Department of Justice really look into this case. I think that it's about time that the FBI go to the South and they investigate all these hate, groups up in the South and police officers, because this is the ongoing trend with black people getting killed. And then they catch this kid named Dylan Roof, and they put a bulletproof vest on. They made sure that this guy wasn't gonna get hurt by black people, because man, people want him. Let's put it that way. I don't want to be saying stuff on YouTube, but this is a shout out to all the pro blacks and African Americans who've been calling out racism for a while through social media means, through being an activist in inner cities and everywhere else. So this is a really sad case, and I'm going to stay tuned to with the Department of Justice and what they call it a hate crime. So, I'm gonna do some more follow up videos on this topic. This is only part one of this particular case. We're gonna go to part two a little bit, and I got more to break down because I don't, this news is still breaking. I want to break down the church. I want to break down some of the victims. I don't have all the names in place, but we're going to talk further about this. But yes, people, this was a hate crime. Do not listen to the Coons. Peace out.